Okay, so the next thing that we want to be doing is we want to uh, adjust our columns so that they are attaching and the pores are breaking at the right locations. So let's take a look at our 3D view here, and let's just update this. Turn off 2 and 6, and we'll turn on 3 for columns and 5 for slabs, because the slabs are what are going to set the top and bottom column elevations. All right, so we can think about a column like, let's say, one of these ones that's interior. And we've copied this from the structural model. So this is going to be in the structural model they put these in as full height, but that's actually not what we want. We want one pore right here and one pore right here. So, but what we'll also notice is that there are a number of columns around the edges where where it looks like what they did is they only have the column going up to this first floor. Okay, so really all we're going to do is we're going to go through and we're going to kind of fix the model for these sorts of places, and we're going to attach to floors and so on. But the best way that I've found to do this is to do just a single line of columns at one time. And you could do a bunch of things, but really what I would rather do is take a little bit extra time and and make sure that what we have in there is correct. Now, there are two ways we could potentially do this. It would be faster for us to potentially see all the columns that are along this edge. That would be faster, but at the same time, that's still not exactly what we want. Again, again, you can do it, but if you get too many columns, you're just more likely to make mistakes. So instead, what I'm going to do is I'm going to do columns along the short length, and I'm just going to adjust these adjust this for each and every time. So I'm going to take this, come in, I'm going to do this, and then I've got that just this line of columns set up, and now I can take these columns and I can attach the top to the slab above. And with these columns, I'm going to attach the bottom to this slab that's below. And then all we got to do, come back here and go to our next line of columns. And if they're close, like these ones, they may not be in the direct same order, then that's fine. Okay. So I'm going to take these, let's see, I've got my slab that's here, right? And let's see, these two attached to the same slab, right? So the base, actually I can attach all of these, attach the base for all of these. And then for these two, since the slab that's above them is the same, we can leave those in there. Attach top. All right, so now the question becomes, what do we do with these 4 columns here? All I'm going to do is I'm going to do Control-C copy, right? And then I'm going to take these ones and I am going to attach the top to this level here. And then I am going to modify paste to same place. And then take these ones and attach the base to here. Now, since the column is already attached, it will need to be detached and attached to the new target. That's perfectly fine. That's exactly what we want, in fact. Now, the one thing is that we have one column here that is a little bit off because it's going to be broken up by this one. And so what we're going to have to do is we're going to have to do the same process again, Control-C, and then I'm going to Control-C, I'm going to attach the top here. Oops, I want to attach and make sure I say top, right? Attach the top there, paste the line to same place, and take this and attach the base, attach the base to there, all right? Okay, and then we're going to take this process along to the next one. That's all we're going to do here. All right. Now, the one thing that I think I want to do is, because I'm going to find a lot of the columns that are like this, and they require just a little bit special attention here. I think in this case, I might go ahead and do that one kind of long section, right? So I might come along here, pull this out here. Let's also, you can see that it's just going to be these columns right there. And there's just a row of columns that are going to be like this along the length of the building, right? So with this one, we can take this process and we can do this like this, right? So I'm going to just do the ones that are, this seems kind of strange. Maybe there's a footing or something underneath. Let's see here. One. Yeah, looks like there's a footing there. Yeah, it's fine to turn on the one pour as well. Okay, so what we want to do then is we want to take all of these ones that are going to attach to this floor. So there's this floor, and then this one, and then this one steps around. So the way that I would do this with this is I would select all of these. I've already done one of those. Select all of these, Control C, and I'm going to attach the top right there. Right? And then I'm going to paste to same place. And I'm going to attach the top again to that. And attach the base to that. Right? The one thing I forgot to do is I forgot to attach the base of these ones. Let's make sure that those are attached. Because these slabs at the base may slope, and so the bottom of these might step. And then again, let's paste a line to same place. And we're going to take as many of these as we can. So let's start with the base and attach it there. And then you can see there are these three columns here that are not going to work for that. So we'll deselect those ones. All right? And we'll say attach the top there. Then for these three, let's see if we can do this. I'm going to select and then scroll over, right? I want to make sure that my top is attached to that. And let's just make sure that the base is attached as well. There we go. All right, good, we're moving on. We've got a special column here, so it's unlike any of the other ones. Actually, before I do anything, I want to attach the base to that. And the top looks like it's supposed to, what's this? Let's see, is it supposed to go into the beam? Or does the beam, it looks like it hits the beam there, right? So what's actually going to happen here is that this one is going to attach to the bottom of the beam, which we should be able to attach it to. Okay, so we have those there. And all I'm going to do now is I'm going to say Control C. Actually, let's do front, Control C. I'm going to attach the top. Is this also a beam? Oh no, that's just a sloping floor, so we'll attach the top there. And then I'm going to attach the top here and attach the base here. And then let's paste the last one, attach the base there. Great. Now we have these last 5 columns that are going to be broken up. I'm going to do the exact same thing. Oops, it's okay. So I deleted them. Let's not do that. Control C. And then I'm going to take these ones. I'm going to attach the top to these. I think the base might already be attached, but you'd have to attach them to each one of these individually. And then we're going to paste to the same place and then attach the top there and attach base there. So basically what I'm doing with this is I'm coming in and I'm saying, okay, I've got this one special row and I'm going to deal with that separately because none of the other rows are going to have these sorts of issues. All right? So let's see, I think we just did this one, right? Okay. So again, now I can come back and I can do the same exact thing, but I don't have to worry about the ones that I've already taken care of, right? These ones are already broken up. These ones we're just going to attach the base. Just remember that when you press attach, the last attachment, whether it's top or base, that you used is going to be active. So I'm going to say top. If I select these now, select the three of these now, if I attach, you see how the top is the one selected. So, but really what I want now is I want to select these three, Control C, or actually no, we want to attach the base now. So Control C, and I want to attach top, and then attach a line to the same place, attach the base. Right? Okay. Now, I'm not going to go through and do this for all of them, and this is something that I want you guys to do, is to go through and follow this process through. I know, like I said, it's a little bit slower than doing the big areas, but what I would rather us do is do things well and slowly than do them fast and poorly and potentially make mistakes. This will allow us to kind of get an idea about, hey, you know, there's a similar slab across this kind of line, across this grid more or less, and we can make sure that we have everything correct. Then what you'll do after we've done all of this, you know, you'll go through, and I'm going to turn my section box off right now. You can go through and you can select all of the columns along, say, P2, right? Come in here, let's say we only select the columns, right? And you can see it's selecting all of these other ones as well, but I can select all the columns along P2. And now what I can say is I can assign my level to them. We won't assign the area yet, but we can assign the level. Now, in this case, the other thing that we could potentially do, sometimes the way that I like to do this, is I'll select all of these columns, right? And then, again, only just do columns. And then for the levels that I don't want, I'll come in and I'll press Shift, and I'll hold my box like this so that these are deselection. And I'm only doing it at level 1. And you can see all of the ones at level 1 now, or at level P2, you can come in and say these are P2 columns, right? These ones here, right? If we look on the side, right? Let's see here. I believe we broke up all of these ones, right? But and again, let's make sure that we have just columns selected. Looks like we've got some extra columns that are coming down an extra level, right? So we want to deselect any columns that are on the bottom level, right? And then we also want to deselect any columns that might be up on that, any of those little stubby columns, anything that might be above or anything like that, right? And so what we have now are all these columns that are only for level P1. You see that? Now, again, we need to make sure that they're not broken up or anything like that. These ones on the interior, you can kind of see that they're going to go from P1 up to the parking level, and there's not going to be this intermediate one there. So we're going to call these ones level P1. Then what we'll do is we'll select all of these columns that are just at the top here. And again, only going to deal with structural columns. And we're only going to deal with ones that are those tiny little things, right? So they're not going to come above level P1. And so you can see I'm deselecting. I'm pressing Shift, and I'm drawing this box to deselect anything that's coming up, like anything that's coming up. So you can see there's these columns that were behind, but those are full height columns rather than these little stubby ones. We'll call these O1, right? So now, maybe we turned off anything that said O1. Yeah, that's what we did. Right? Now, these ones we can see all have level 01. We'll fill in the areas later after we started setting up our sheets. But what I want you guys to be able to do is go through in line by line and set up all of these columns, okay? And then set up their parameters. Okay, then we will move on to that one next.